MyHeritage DNA could very well be a scam. Hi guys, welcome back to the Shannon Show. Hello if you're new. So today's video is going to be an Ancestry DNA results reveal and a comparison of Ancestry DNA and MyHeritage DNA. I hope everybody is doing as well as can be, and I really do hope everybody is being as proactive as possible in supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. Feel free to comment down below your thoughts on my video. I'm always up for a chat, I'm always up for a debate, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't, give it a dislike, no hard feelings. And if you really like this video, consider subscribing and helping your girl out. So, into the video. Now, I've always been interested in doing, heritage ancestry DNA tests, and my test of choice has always been Ancestry DNA. About 2 years ago, my brother did a test, but with MyHeritage DNA, and the results that he got raised a few eyebrows.
With the remaining 46.7%,
I frankly was a bit suspicious about them, and I kind of wanted to either confirm them or dispute them. So a bit of background on my ancestry. I'm of indigenous African ancestry. I'm first generation Congolese. My mum and dad were born in Congo. Their parents were born in Congo, and so on and so forth. And both my parents come from the Manyanga tribe. As far as they're concerned, we are 100% Manyanga Congolese, and that is that. And I'm more than happy to accept that if that's what comes up on this Ancestry DNA. But what sparked my interest in DNA testing was seeing other people who were of indigenous African ancestry take the DNA test and it not being what they were told. They were coming up 100% African, but for instance, say if they were Congolese, they were coming up half Nigerian, 20% Congolese. There were a few where it was like, okay, I'm 100% Nigerian, and they came up 100% Nigerian. Or they said that they were 100% Cameroon and they came up 100% Cameroon. It was an interesting mix. I have yet to find someone who's tested 100% Congolese. So it got me thinking, am I actually 100% Congolese? My siblings were wondering as well, which brings me on to my brother's test results. If you want to see the video of that reveal, I'll link it up here. And what was interesting about my brother's results is that it came up with the smallest percentage of Congolese. Like, it was literally 5%, and it was still like mixed in the Central African region. And, obviously my parents are like, oh, the test is lying, the test is lying. I was already suspicious of MyHeritage DNA because the sample rate is quite low. It's not the most accurate DNA test. I was expecting mixed African, but not the composition. So the composition was, we were 100% African. That wasn't really a big surprise for me. 46.7% Nigerian, 37.4% Kenyan, and 15.9% to other ethnicities. Senegalese and Central African was the least percentage. At the time, I was thinking, if I was to take this test as fact, I was probably thinking my dad would be the Kenyan one and my mum would be the Nigerian one. Based off facial features, I got a lot of comments on that video saying that Nigerian checked out, that I look like I'm from the Igbo tribe. I got some comments saying that I look like I have East African features. I was suspecting Nigerian might come up. I was suspecting maybe Ghana might come up, but like I said, I was not expecting these compositions. I would have thought at least 50% Congolese. And to me, I personally could not accept these results. I was just suspicious because I was like, okay, the mixing makes sense, but like to have such tiny Central African ethnicity when my parents are claiming that we are 100% Manyanga tribe, ancient Central African tribe, didn't make sense to me. So if my Ancestry DNA comes back and it's basically the same results, then okay, MyHeritage DNA, you might have had a point. But I personally feel like this Ancestry DNA, which is the most accurate test, is going to come up with at least 50% Congolese. Because for me, 5% Central African is not making sense to me. Another thing that I didn't like about MyHeritage DNA is their ethnicity categories. We literally had one category that said Nigeria and another one that said West Africa. Like, Nigeria is literally in West Africa, so why are they in two different categories? So I was just like, I don't know about this. Obviously, these DNA tests are ridiculously expensive. They are overpriced, but the marketing got me. It charmed me. My mum said it was a waste of money, and I feel like a lot of indigenous Africans feel like taking these DNA tests are a waste of money. I personally think that it's interesting to either confirm or discover new things about your ethnicity, and also it does unlock the door of the history of slavery in Africa. Slavery, the colonization period as a whole, it's not really talked about in the African community, not in the same way that it's talked about in the African American community. There's always that old toxic narrative, oh, African people sold off African American people. But the vast majority of native African people in Africa were victims of slavery, especially in Congo. Their family was stolen from them. So when me and my brother were looking through the relative matches, it was just surreal to see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of African American relatives. This is the legacy of my stolen family, which is deeply traumatic. And by Indigenous Africans taking these tests, you can find your family, you can find your long lost family, and you can also help them discover their roots as well. You can give them information that Ancestry DNA might not be able to give them, because not all of the DNA tests have accurate information on ethnic tribes. I asked my dad if there was any stories about, family members who were captured or disappeared, and he said that he didn't know any personal stories, but he says that it was probably likely that some of my relatives far back were captured. And these DNA tests basically confirm that. Over 100 relatives in America who are exclusively African American. Clearly a good chunk of my ancestors were stolen. With my family matches, they were all exclusively African American. I didn't have any Caribbean matches, I didn't have any South American matches. And the people of Congo who were enslaved and shipped, South America was a big hub, the Caribbean was a big hub. So I was suspicious that there wasn't any matches from there, but it has a small database. So I'd be interested to see if I have more South American matches and more Caribbean matches with my Ancestry DNA. So in terms of my predictions, being of mixed African ancestry wouldn't be a big surprise for me because of, the history of Africa. Obviously, slavery, colonization, there was a lot of migration, people fleeing to different countries for safe haven, and then people lying about their ethnicity because of xenophobia. Also certain ethnic groups that are nomadic. So for me to be of mixed African ancestry wouldn't be a big shocker for me. So my mum predicts we're going to be 100% Congolese, 100% Manyanga. My dad also said 100% Congolese, 100% Manyanga, but also he wouldn't be surprised if we were from other Central African regions. And my brother actually thinks that we will get pretty much the same results as last time. So, pretty much half and half Kenyan, Nigerian, and then the rest is Central African or other regions. My younger sister predicts will be about 70 to 80% Congolese, and then, probably spread around other parts of Africa. And my sister predicts will be 50% West African, 40% Central African, and 10% East African. And I believe it will be 50% Congolese, 40% Nigerian, and 10% East. That's my prediction. But I am secretly hoping that we do come up 100% Congolese. I think that would be really interesting. But yeah, if you didn't just skip to the results, let me know what your predictions were. Now what you've been waiting for, the results. I'm going to call my sister because I promised I'd have her on call. I'm going to open the results. You ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Why are you laughing?
Okay. Okay. We are 100% African. And we are 100% Cameroon, Congo, and Western Bantu people.
Oh my god, you know how happy that makes me? 100%. Nah, that is amazing.
100%.
I was really lying.
We're really lying. I knew it was just you're
lying.
really lying because I would have thought, okay, a couple discrepancies here and there, like maybe like, but like for them to they Ancestry, MyHeritage DNA is a full-on scam.
Scam, like they need to take that fully off the market. It's a scam, such a scam. Wow, a whole scam.
Okay, so it says Cameroon, Congo, Western Bantu peoples 100%.
Yeah.
DNA communities, Afro-Haitians. So we have some Haitian ancestors. So our ancestors obviously were taken to Haiti. but it doesn't have anything else. Yeah, it doesn't give any tribe informations. Literally, like the Kingdom of Congo, the whole thing is highlighted. So I'm 100% Congolese. So my parents were not lying, and I might have wasted my money. But my suspicions were right that MyHeritage DNA was a bunch of foo-foo. So yeah, if you took a MyHeritage DNA test, I would strongly advise getting an Ancestry DNA, because to me this is accurate. I didn't even like give my surname or anything, because obviously my surname is very ethnic. So what my parents said checked out. It says basically the Kingdom of Congo, basically, but I think my parents' word is good, and I am 100% Congolese Manyanga. So all the people claiming me as Igbo, unfortunately, I am a Congolese babe. I am a Congolese Manyanga babe. This is what a 100% African looks like. This is what a 100% Congolese babe looks like. MyHeritage, you are a scammer. If you took your DNA test for MyHeritage DNA, get something else. 23andMe, I feel like that would be okay. But I can personally vouch for Ancestry DNA after getting these results. So if you took your test from MyHeritage DNA, get another test. Because the way that it was way off, and some people could say, well, maybe the Ancestry DNA is wrong, but it can't be, because it checks out with what my parents say. So my Ancestry DNA, you're a scammer in my opinion. Well, that was a pleasant surprise. I was more than prepared to be of mixed African ancestry. But to be 100% Congolese, because not everyone can say that. Not everyone can say. Oh, I feel like a unicorn. For my matches, I have over 100 matches, like just over 100 matches. Oh, I've got some Caribbean relatives. There's 2 from the Bahamas, and all the rest are from America, like the United States of America. Yeah, so all my relative matches are exclusively from the Americas, basically. So yeah, that's basically the end of the video. In conclusion, I am Congolese. I'm 100% Congolese. MyHeritage DNA could very well be a scam. I may indeed have wasted my money. I feel like I probably won't pay to do a DNA test again. I would do a sponsorship, but I'm probably not going to pay for another DNA test. To be honest, Ancestry DNA was the only test I cared about, if I'm being real. But 23andMe, if you want to sponsor me, let me know. Let me know. I feel like what I would like more in Ancestry DNA is more tribal information. And I feel like they need to work with indigenous communities in each country so that people can get more tribal information, because I feel like a lot of people who are on the discovery of their ethnicity for whatever reason really value information about tribes. So I feel like there definitely needs to be more effort into putting tribal information into the database. It took a really long time to get my results. Like, it took the full 8 weeks, but in my opinion, it was a bit long. Yeah, in my opinion, Ancestry DNA was very accurate. Yeah, I got to hear from you guys. Let me know if you've done Ancestry DNA. Let me know if you've done more than one DNA test and whether their results differed. Did they differ in the way that mine differed? Because it was quite a difference with my results. Let me know if you're surprised by my results. If anyone wants some info on Congolese culture, Manyanga culture, feel free to ask me down below, and I'll probably get my parents to help me out replying to you. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Ancestry DNA test done. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you have, don't forget to hit my notification bell on so you know when my next video is dropping. I'm also trying to get to 4K subscribers. That's my next short-term goal, and I'd appreciate if you help me hit that. Till next time, guys. Bye.